Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So today is a very auspicious day. Today marks the last day of this Kartik month, auspicious Damodar month. This whole 1 month, this Damodar month is spiritually surcharged, and we have discussed the glories in the beginning of the month. Now it is coming to an end, and this is the Purnima day called Kartik Purnima also. So on this day, there are two prominent pastimes that happened. One is Tulsi Shalagram Vivaha. That is not actually on this day, but can be done on any day between the Ekadashi and the Purnima. So we will discuss about the Tulsi Shaligram Vivaha. And also Lord Shri Krishna had this second time Rasa dance on this day. The first was during the Sharat Purnima. In the beginning of this Kartik, that starts with the Sharat Purnima and it ends with the Kartik Purnima. So in both of the Purnimas, there were Rasa dance. So we will discuss the transcendental nature of Lord Shri Krishna's Rasa dance. So before that, let's begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscham Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam bhaktarupa swarupakam bhaktavataram bhaktakyam namami bhaktashaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachala Nivashaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's discuss about Tulsi Shaligram Vivaha. We will discuss first. It's a beautiful pastime, and this begins from a curse by Srimati Radharani in Golok Vrindavan. Actually, in Golok Vrindavan, there is no negative qualities. So although this is depicted as cursing, it's actually a blessing. Actually, it's a part of the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, which falls under the category of a Rajasic Puran. So therefore, it is described as a curse. But actually, Srimati Radharani is giving blessings to Tulasi Devi and to one of the cowherd friends of Krishna, Sudam. So what happened? Brinda Devi means Tulsi Maharani in the spiritual world. This Tulsi Maharani is the director of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So Yogamaya is directing all the spiritual pastimes. Yogamaya is also known as Purnamasi in Vrindavan. So Purnamasi is directing different pastimes and Brinda Devi also directing. So Brinda Devi mainly takes care of the Madhurya pastimes and Purnamasi takes care of the other pastimes. So this Brinda Devi is only the director, and the mood of Golok Vrindavan is all the gopis and the sakhis and manjaris, they are all trying to unite Radha and Krishna. They are trying to unite Radha and Krishna, and Radharani should serve Krishna and everyone else should help Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna. That is the mood of Golok Vrindavan. But one time Brinda Devi wanted to become intimate with Krishna. There was some hidden desire and Radharani could understand that. So Radharani outwardly gave a curse that this is not befitting the mood of Golaka Vrindavan and you should go to the material world. But actually, Radharani is giving Vrinda Devi an opportunity to execute that desire so that Tulasi Maharani can get Krishna as her husband. So Radharani is giving opportunity and she is blessing. On the other hand, the Sudama, one of the cowherd friends of Krishna, he was also attracted to Vrinda Devi. So that was also not permitted in Golak Vrindavan. That cannot happen in Golak Vrindavan. So Radharani cursed Sudama also to go to the material world. So actually here we can understand, one might question why people are getting attracted to one another. Vrinda Devi getting attracted to Krishna is still okay, but why Sudama is getting attracted to Vrinda Devi? Krishna is all attractive, present there always in spiritual world. In spite of that, why people are getting attracted to one another? So the explanation is given by our acharyas, like Sudama or other cowherd friends of Krishna, they are nothing but the expansions of Krishna himself. So Krishna personally expands, and all these associates, Nitya Siddha associates, they are expansions of Krishna. So in that sense, Sudama is non-different from Krishna also. So Vrinda Devi is getting attracted to Sudama is not a big problem. So due to this curse, Sudama appears as Sankhachud, son of Dambha. This Dambha, although he was a demon, born in a demoniac family, he was a great devotee of Vishnu. And this Sudama appeared as Sankhachud in the demoniac family due to the curse of Srimati Radharani. So this Sankhachud was very powerful, handsome, like Cupid, and Sankhachud performed several austerities and pleased Brahmaji. And Brahmaji personally blessed Sankhachud. And after that, Sankhachud got an amulet with the power of Vishnu, a very strong amulet imbued with the power of Vishnu, invincible. So two things made Sankhachud invincible. One is this amulet, and second, there was another blessing that till the time the chastity of his wife will not be broken, Sankhachud will be protected. No one will be able to defeat Sankhachud, or Sankhachud cannot be killed. These two are protecting always. Now Tulasi Devi also appeared as daughter of Dharmadhvaja, a king, and she was exquisitely beautiful and incomparable. In Sanskrit, comparison is called tulana. So one who is incomparable, that means one who cannot be compared with others. There is no tulana. So therefore, the name of this lady is Tulasi. And this Tulasi Maharani also performed severe austerities. And Tulasi Maharani, after taking birth as the daughter of Dharmadhvaja, was able to remember the past life, that how in Golok Vrindavan she was directing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and due to the curse of Srimati Radharani, she came to this material world. Now she immediately knew the purpose of her descent to this material world, that getting Krishna as her husband. So she immediately started severe austerities. She was taking only fruits and leaves and roots of the tree, and for many thousands of years. So, and also in the summertime, Tulasi Maharani used to lit up five fires and sit in the middle of that and do austerity. In the winter also, she used to enter cold water and do austerity. In the rainy season also, she used to tolerate the rains and do austerity. And with minimal bodily intake, she was performing severe austerities. And finally, Brahmaji was pleased with these austerities, and Brahmaji comes to Tulasi Maharani and asked whether Tulasi Maharani wanted any kind of benediction. So Tulasi Maharani expressed the desire that I want to get Krishna as my husband. So Brahmaji told, okay, so for that, you should marry Sankhachud now. This Sankhachud is Sudama Sakha from the spiritual world. He has taken birth in the demoniac family, but he is very handsome and powerful, and you should marry Sankhachud. After that, by divine arrangement, something will happen, and you will be married to Narayan later. So for now, you have to marry Sankhachud. So Tulasi and Sankhachud married under the Gandharva system, which is the love marriage. They were attracted to each other, they met, and they married. After that, Sankhachud was already very powerful and blessed by Brahmaji, and he also had the opulence, two special opulences by, like those opulences were always protecting him, and he cannot be killed. He was invincible. So Sankachur captures the celestial planets and drives away the demigods. Now the demigods took shelter of Lord Shiva this time and visited Narayan in Vaikuntha because Shiva could not give protection, because these two benedictions were very strong, and unless these two conditions are violated, no one can defeat Sankachur. So Lord Shiva, along with all other demigods, went to Vaikuntha to consult with Narayan. And then Narayan gave a specially empowered trident to Lord Shiva and told that using this trident, you will be able to kill Sankachur. But remember, this Sankachur is also having two opulences, like two protections. Till the time these two protections are not removed, you cannot defeat Sankachur. So Narayan ensured that I will come in some form to help you, but for now, you should start the fight with Sankachur and use this trident in the fight. So now the fight, in the description of the fight is there. So Lord Shiva, before starting the war, the battle with Sankachur, Lord Shiva tried to convince Sankachur that you should not fight. Why you are fighting? You should support the demigods. Demigods are the universal administrators. If they are driven out of the celestial planets, how can the whole universe go on? This is how Lord Shiva was trying to counsel. But Sankachur told, as a demon, it is my duty to fight with the demigods. Demons and the demigods, they are eternal enemies. So Lord Shiva also told that if you fight against the demigods, you will not be able to succeed, because Lord Vishnu is protecting the demigods. And so for sure, you will be defeated. And Sankachur knew that I'll be defeated. Sankachur told, what is the problem? I'm just executing my dharma. My dharma is to fight with you. Even if I get defeated or killed, what is the problem? You are Lord Shiva yourself. If you kill me, that will be my great fortune. So Sankachur was knowledgeable, and he was well equipped with the knowledge of the scriptures, and he's executing dharma. So Shivji could not convince Sankachur, and finally the battle began. So in that battle, all the demigods are taking part and helping Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva's own son Kartikeya and wife Bhadrakali also took part in the war. So Kartikeya was fighting with Sankachur, and Kartikeya fought valiantly, but then Sankachur could defeat. Sankachur threw a spell on Kartikeya, and Kartikeya was unconscious. And then Bhadrakali, his mother, removed Kartikeya from the battlefield, and Bhadrakali started fighting with Sankachur herself. And she was attacking Sankachur with different kinds of weapons, like an Narayan weapon. Then Sankachur knew how to counteract Narayan weapon. Sankachur just paid Sastang Dandavat Pranam, prostrated obeisances, and by that Narayan weapon could not do any harm. And then she threw Brahmastra, and Sankachur also counteracted with another Brahmastra. And then she tried to use the Pashupata Astra, or the Astra of Lord Shiva, the weapon of Lord Shiva. That also did not work. And there was a celestial voice that this person cannot be defeated until those two conditions are violated. That protecting armor imbued with the energy of Lord Vishnu and the chastity of his wife. So this is how Goddess Kali could not defeat Sankachur. And then Lord Shiva started fighting with Sankachur personally, and they threw different weapons to each other. So Sankachur threw different weapons, and Lord Shiva counteracted. Shiva also threw some, and Sankachur counteracted. And then Shiva was going to throw the trident which Lord Narayan gave him. Then a celestial voice again stopped him from doing so, that this is the weapon of Narayan. Even if you throw it, it will not work now. It will be an insult to the weapon of Lord Narayan. So better you violate those two conditions first, and then you throw this trident. So the fight was standstill, and Lord Shiva was not able to defeat Sankachur because those two conditions are not violated. Then finally Vishnu came to help them. Vishnu came in disguise of a Brahmana and begged for the amulet. And Sankachur was very righteous personality, and he was very respectful to the Brahmanas and charitable person. So Sankachur gave that amulet to this Brahmana who is Vishnu in disguise. So still Sankachur was not defeated even after the amulet was removed. because there is still another condition protecting him, the chastity of his wife, which is Tulasi Devi. So Vishnu thought that I also have to violate this condition. How is that possible? So Vishnu takes the form of Sankhachud, and then Vishnu says to Tulasi Devi that in the middle of the battle, I thought of taking some rest, and therefore I'm coming here. And then spent some time with Tulasi Devi, got intimate. And this is how the chastity of Tulasi is broken now. Although Lord Vishnu had to take the form of Sankhachud. Then these two conditions are violated, and finally Sankhachud was killed. When Tulsi Maharani got to know this, Tulsi Maharani could see that this person is Vishnu, and Vishnu took the form of Sankhachud to break my chastity. So she was partially happy also, because that was her initial goal, to get Lord Vishnu or Krishna as her husband. But at the same time, she was very morose and broken-hearted that why Vishnu, you did this? You took the life of my husband and you did this kind of arrangement, and you are not taking the righteous way. This is not a righteous way to kill Sankhachud. So this is how Tulasi Maharani was lamenting. And Tulasi Maharani actually gave one curse to Vishnu that, oh Vishnu, you are very stone-hearted, hard-hearted. How can you do this? So you should become a stone. Although Lord Vishnu is above any kind of curses, no curses can work on Lord Vishnu. But still, Lord Vishnu accepted this curse of Tulasi Devi. And then, therefore, we can see one form of Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayan is the Salagram Shila in the stone form. And then Lord Vishnu gave some blessings to Tulasi Devi also, that your chastity will be highly glorified, and your chastity actually is not broken, because I personally had to take the form of your husband to break your chastity. So technically it's not broken. And because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not any material person, so it's fine. And Lord Vishnu gave the blessings that you will be known as Jagat Pavani. You will purify the entire world. And in this world, you will stay as Tulasi plant. And also another form as the Gandaki river. In Nepal, there is a river called Gandaki. So these two are the forms of Tulasi Maharani in this world. And in the eternal form, spiritual body, Lord Vishnu accepts Tulasi Devi as her consort. So the Saligram Shilas are found in the waters of Gandaki river. So Saligram Shila is Vishnu, and this Gandaki river is form of Tulasi Devi. So there in the Gandaki river also we can see the union of Vishnu and Tulasi Devi. So this is how the Tulasi Saligram Vivaha happened, and this is the pastime and the background. And this is done in any days by finding an auspicious muhurta between the Ekadasi day and this Kartik Purnima. So these 5 days, any days, one can perform the Tulsi Shaligram marriage. And this is the pastime we discussed. So now we will discuss about the Rasa Lila of Lord Krishna, which is in the transcendental level. So this is a very exalted subject matter, and our acharyas generally avoid discussing the intimate pastimes of Radha Krishna. But today we will discuss the transcendental nature of Rasa Lila. We will not go into the intimate details, but we will discuss that how this is not on the material platform. Many people try to cite and give the example that Lord Krishna also danced with the gopis. So what is the problem of, like, if I keep many girlfriends, so what is the problem? So this is how we will see how this relationship between the gopis and Krishna is very different from the loving relationship, or rather the lusty relationship that we see in in this world. So let's begin. So to give a background of this Rasa Lila, what happened actually, the gopis did Katyani Brata after Kartik. So today is the last day of Kartik, and after this, if you see the Vaishnava calendar, the Katyani Brata starts. Katyani is Yogamaya. So gopis worship this Yogamaya after Kartik. And what was their purpose? Katyani or Yogamaya or Durga, Mahamaya is certainly falling in the category of demigod worship. But why gopis, the topmost devotees of Krishna, they are doing demigod worship? Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Kama ista isthirita jnana prapadyanti anna devata. Only the less intelligent people do demigod worship. Intelligent people directly come to me because demigods cannot help you in any way. Whatever benedictions the demigods are giving you is actually given by me. Mayaiva bihitan hitan. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. So intelligent people will directly come to Krishna. But the gopis, they do not know Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead. Such is the extent of their love. And therefore, they, even if they approach the demigods, they are only asking for Krishna Bhakti. That is the Vaishnava way to worship demigods. Demigod worship is a problem when we are seeking material desires. Like even the devotees during the Durga Puja, the devotees should ask for Krishna Bhakti to Mother Durga, because gopis also did that. So if one is doing that, one is asking for Krishna Bhakti from Mother Durga and Lord Shiva, that's not a problem. That's Vaishnava worship. That does not fall under the category of demigod worship. So gopis did this Katayani Brata, and then Krishna was very pleased with the gopis, and Krishna told, the next year in the Sharat Purnima, I will fulfill your desire by performing Rasa Leela. So when Krishna was 8 years old, next year in the Sharat Purnima means the beginning of Kartik month, and Kartik Purnima is the end of Kartik month. So in the Sharat Purnima, Krishna promised that I will perform Rasa Leela and I will fulfill your desire. Next year, that is in the Sharat Purnima. At the end of Kartik, there is a second time Rasa. Okay, and that happened on this Tithi, Kartik Purnima. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this Rasa Leela is explained in the 5 chapters, the celebrated 5 chapters called Rasa Panchadhyaya. There are many chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam, and these 5 are the most confidential chapters. The most intimate pastimes of Radha Krishna is discussed here. So what are those chapters? Chapter 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. 29 is that Krishna and the gopis meet for the Rasa dance. Krishna is calling out to the gopis by playing the flute. And after that, chapter 30 explains the gopis search for Krishna. Krishna appears for some time and then Krishna disappears. Okay, and the gopis are searching like mad people. And chapter 31, the gopis singing the Gopi Geet, the song of separation. And then chapter 32 is the reunion. After gopis collectively sang the song of separation and they were remembering Krishna, so that falls under devotional service. Smaranam of the Lord is one form of devotional service. And also they were doing kirtanam. They were discussing the pastimes of the Lord. We will go into, we will see very briefly how in the Gopi Geet, the gopis are calling out to the Lord. So they did Harinam Sankirtan. They're chanting the names of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, and collectively Sankirtan. And then chapter 32, Krishna appears before them. And chapter 33, Krishna performs the Rasa dance with them, fulfills their desire. So Krishna here also shows us through the gopis that only by Harinam Sankirtan you can attain me. Even the gopis had to go through this Harinam Sankirtan. So there are total 6 Gopi Gitas in Srimad Bhagavatam, not the only one in the chapter 31 of the 10th canto. So Gopi Geet in general means the Geet or the song sung by the gopis. So there are 6 of them in Srimad Bhagavatam. First is the Venu Geet, glorification of the flute sound of Krishna. It is described in the chapter 21 of the 10th canto. Next is Pranaya Gita, and this is part of the Rasa Panchadhyaya, chapter 29 of the 10th canto, where the gopis are requesting Krishna not to reject. In the middle of the night, gopis come to Krishna by hearing the flute sound, and then Krishna says, "Gopis, why have you come here? I am just playing flute, and I'm just having a good time. I did not call you. Why did you come here?" So the gopis knew that Krishna is actually calling them. So Krishna is joking with the gopis that you should go to your home. And the gopis are telling that we have left everything. We have come in the middle of the night. Even if we go back, we may not be accepted. So we are helpless and we have completely surrendered unto you. Please do not reject us. That is Pranaya Gita. Then when Krishna disappeared suddenly, that is the Gopi Gita, feelings of separation. And then Yugala Gita, this is not part of the Rasa Panchadhyaya, chapter 35. Here, the gopis are always meditating on Krishna. When Krishna goes in the morning time for Gocharan, for herding the cows, gopis cannot see Krishna the whole day because Krishna is busy in Gocharan. So that time, while doing the household chores, the gopis are always thinking of the pastimes of Krishna. And gopis are uttering these pastimes and expressing their remembrance in pair of verses. So if you see in this chapter, you will find pair of verses. So therefore it is called Yugala Gita. And then another Gopi Gita is Viraha Gita, chapter 39. When Akrura takes away Krishna from Vrindavan, the gopis are crying out in the separation of Krishna. That is Viraha Gita. And Brahmara Gita in the chapter 47 of the 10th canto, Krishna, after going to Mathura and after a long time, so Krishna is not there for a long time in Vrindavan, and Krishna sends Uddhava as a messenger, and Uddhava resembles in look with Krishna, exactly looks like Krishna. By seeing Uddhava, the gopis and Srimati Radharani's separation for Krishna enhanced, and Srimati Radharani is conversing with a bumblebee, thinking it to be a messenger of Uddhava. And that is explained in Brahmara Gita, Radharani's conversation with a Brahmara or bumblebee. So there are 6 Gopi Gitas in Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll briefly see the mood of the gopis when Krishna disappeared and how spontaneously they are calling out to the Lord. And before that, we will discuss the transcendental nature of the Rasa Leela. We will prove by stating different points that this Rasa Leela of Krishna is not on the mundane platform. Okay, and these are very powerful arguments we can give to anyone who is challenging and who is comparing Krishna's Rasa Leela with mundane love. Okay, so let's go one by one. First argument is Krishna's age. Krishna was only 8 years old during that time. So material lust cannot be manifested. So Krishna's Rasa Leela with the gopis is not a manifestation of the material lust. Second is Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he can do anything. Just like sun is absorbing water from all different water bodies. Sun can also absorb the urine, but sun is not contaminated by that. So similarly, Krishna can do anything. Some people may say, Krishna did this, but if I do this, that will be considered a sinful activity. Why? The Supreme Lord is doing. The Supreme Lord can do anything. Just for example, the sun can absorb urine. But if we intake urine, then we will be sick. But sun is not contaminated. So similarly, whatever activity the Supreme Lord is doing, he is not affected by the activity. But we will get affected because we are Jiva Tattva, we are not Bhagavan. The third argument is that the gopis are Krishna's pleasure potency. Gopis are expansions of Krishna. Srimati Radharani is the Ladini potency of Lord, and other gopis are expansions of Srimati Radharani. So gopis are just like Krishna's own bodily limb. So if I embrace my hand, then it's not illegal. Similarly, Krishna is dancing with the gopis. It's like Krishna is dancing with his own bodily limbs. So it's not a problem. The fourth argument is the spiritual bodies of the gopis. Krishna danced with the spiritual bodies of the gopis. In the spiritual platform, everyone belongs to Krishna. And the material bodies are untouched. So there is no violation of chastity. And then the fifth point is Yogamaya orchestrated Krishna's rasa dance. It is not an act of the material energy. So there is no 3 modes of material nature or Rajoguna, Tamoguna, lust. All these things are not present. The rasa dance is very pure, orchestrated by Yogamaya. The sixth argument is Krishna is super soul. Krishna is always situated within heart. And having a relationship with Paramatma is not an illegal activity. Paramatma is already residing in the heart of everyone, man, woman, everyone. So in that sense, if we consider Paramatma as Parapurush, then everyone is unchaste because everyone is associating with Paramatma. So association of the Paramatma is not a problem. That does not break chastity and that cannot be illegal. Seventh argument is Krishna is self-sufficient Atmaram, yet not ungrateful. Krishna is very grateful to the service done by the devotees and Krishna reciprocates. And that is one of the nature of Krishna, Bhakta Vatsal. Even in the Damodar Lila, we have seen how Krishna reciprocates with the devotional service of the devotees. Iti drikshva lila bhir ananda kunde swaghosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam tadiyasi tagnyeshu bhaktir jitatvam. So Krishna is bhaktir jitatvam. By devotion, you can win over Krishna. And Krishna is Bhakta Vatsal. Krishna is only concerned about how to satisfy the devotees. Krishna does not care what people will think about him. So therefore, many examples we can see in the Mahabharata also. Krishna took the vow that I will not accept any weapon. But when Arjuna's life was at stake, Krishna lifted the chariot wheel. So therefore, we see that Krishna does not care about his own image and prestige. Krishna can do anything for devotees. So gopis wanted to have Krishna as husband. Krishna fulfilled the desire. People might criticize this Leela, no problem. That is the supremacy. The Supreme Lord does not care. This careless attitude is there in Krishna because he is self-sufficient Atmaram. He is not like a political leader who is like interested in the votes given by us. Krishna does not need our vote. If we accept Krishna's teaching, we will be benefited. There is no benefit of Krishna that if you worship Krishna, Krishna will get more votes and Krishna will become more powerful. Nothing like that. Krishna will stay as it is, even if we criticize him or whatever we do. If we criticize, we will incur sinful activities, sinful reactions, and we will have to suffer. So Krishna, being merciful, gives different injunctions in the scriptures that you should worship me, you should abide by the principles of Bhagavad Gita. That is for our benefit, not for Krishna's benefit. So the next point is Krishna is self-sufficient, self-satisfied, aptakam. Why? So Krishna is not very attached to the gopis. We can see Krishna is leaving the Rasa Sthali in the middle. If Krishna was very much attached with the gopis, Krishna could not leave the gopis. And Krishna is also coming to Mathura and Dwarka to execute his duty and leaving the gopis of Vrindavan and not meeting with them. So Krishna has this vairagya, renunciation. Aishwaryasya samagrasya virjasya jasya shriya jnana vairagyayoscheva shannam bhagaitirana. One of the opulences of the Supreme Lord is this renunciation. Krishna is not attached to the gopis. Krishna does not have to go to the gopis to get some enjoyment. Krishna is already enjoying always. Raso Vaishaha. Krishna is the personification of all rasa. He is already enjoying. He is not dependent on the gopis for his enjoyment. Therefore, he is completely detached. He is only performing the Ras Leela for the benefit of the gopis to satisfy their desire. So therefore, we can see Krishna is Aptakam. And in this material world, people are only interested in their, they have some selfish motive. The boyfriend is interested to enjoy the girlfriend is interested to enjoy. So people exploit others for their enjoyment. And this Rasa Leela is not an example of that. Krishna is the supreme creator and proprietor. All the gopis are actually properties of Krishna because Krishna is the proprietor of everything. What to speak only of the gopis. Janmadasya jatan vaya ditradasya artheshu abhigya swarat. Krishna says in many places that everything comes from Krishna. So we can see Krishna is the supreme proprietor. So Krishna's relationship with the gopis, there is no harm. Even Krishna's devotees are not lusty like Haridas Thakur. So Yogamaya, not Yogamaya, the Mahamaya, Durga Devi herself wanted to entice this Haridas Thakur. But Maya Devi herself could not do. So that is the potency of Krishna's devotees. They are not agitated by Mahamaya. So what to speak of Krishna? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Even the devotees, the pure devotees are not affected by lust. So what to speak of Krishna? Now the 11th argument, last argument is the great Paramhamsas like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shukdev Goswami, they are relishing Krishna's pastime with the gopis. If Krishna's pastime with the gopis, they are a manifestation of material lust and they are lusty activities, they are on the material platform, then why Paramahamsas who left everything of this world are discussing about this Krishna's Leela with the gopis? So it cannot be on the material platform. Therefore, Shukadev Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are discussing this. So this is how we can establish the Rasa Leela of Krishna is actually on the transcendental platform and it's not a material activity. Now, very quickly, we will discuss the Gopi Geet. And before that, a few informations about the Gopi Gita. The 10th canto, 31st chapter, the gopis are singing in separation from Krishna. Actually, Krishna could spot some pride in the gopis, that when Krishna is trying to fulfill their desire, the gopis are thinking, oh, we are so great that Krishna is performing Rasa Leela with me. And when Krishna was performing Rasa Leela, that time Krishna expanded himself in 100 billion forms. There were 100 billion gopis actually. So this much gopis cannot be accommodated on the surface of the earth. So Krishna actually expanded the space and time. Krishna broke all the boundaries of space and time. So this Leela of Rasa Leela is not an ordinary Leela. So Krishna broke the boundary of the space, and 100 billion gopis were accommodated in the Vrindavan, Vamsibhat, Rasasthali. And also Krishna broke the boundary of the time. That one night gopis spent with Krishna is actually equivalent to one night of Brahma. That is 432 crore years. So Krishna expanded the time and expanded the space to perform this Rasa Leela. And therefore, this was not performed on earth. It's on a spiritual platform. So that we can see. Now, so during this Rasa dance, Krishna expanded himself in 100 billion forms. And personally, Krishna was dancing with each of these gopis. And the gopis thought, oh, I am so fortunate. Krishna is personally dancing with me. So there was some tinge of pride. Actually, the gopis are pure devotees, but there were some tinge of pride. And Krishna immediately disappeared from the Rasa dance. And the external purpose is purifying the gopis. The gopis are actually purified. There is nothing to purify. So the internal purpose was to increase the longing in the heart of the gopis more and more. And external reason was to purify their pride. Okay. So there are total 19 verses in the Gopi Gita. And there were 19 types of gopis who are singing these 19 verses. So the first category of gopis are the Shruti-chari gopis. These are Shruti-chari gopis means Shruti means Veda. Veda personified took the form of the gopis and wanted to enter the Rasa Leela. So the Shruti-chari gopis are actually Vedas personified, and they came to Braja much before, and they are already married to some husbands other than Krishna, and therefore they are called as Anya Purva. Anya means other. So they already belong to other people. They have husbands. And then other categories, the Rishi-chari gopis. These Rishi-chari gopis are from the Treta Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, when Lord Ramachandra was performing pastime, the sages of Dandakaranya, they were attracted to the beauty of Ramachandra and wanted to have Ramachandra as their husband. The sages were ready to convert their form to a female form and accept Ramachandra as husband. But Ramachandra told, see, in this particular incarnation, I cannot accept more than one wife. So in the next incarnation as Krishna, I will accept more than one gopis. So you people come then. So these Rishi-chari gopis are the sages of Dandakaranya. And they do not have husbands. They're called Ananya Purva gopis and without husbands. So these are two categories of gopis. And they have subcategories also. Like we know three modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja and Tama. And if we combine them with Sattva, Raja and Tama, total 9 subcategories will be generated. Like Sattva, 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 Raja, Sattva, Tama, Raja, Sattva, Raja, 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 Tama, Tama, Sattva, Tama, Raja and Tama, Tama. So there are 9 subcategories. So actually gopis are beyond the 3 modes of material nature, but yet they have variation in their mood. So they are being compared to the variation of the 3 modes of material nature. But we have to understand the gopis are beyond the 3 modes of material nature. These 9 subcategories are just telling they have different emotions for Krishna. And when these Prakritika gunas become transcendental in Krishna Bhakti, because gopis are the epitome of Krishna Bhakti, no Prakrita gunas can be there in gopis. So these all are transcendental. Now there is a description that the Rishi-chari gopis spoke the following verses: 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. Total 19 verses are there in this chapter. The Shruti-chari gopis spoke 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And other is the Nirguna gopis, they spoke the 4th verse. Nirguna gopis means they are not coming under these categories, 9 subcategories of Sattva, Raja, and Tama. The Gopi Geet is composed in the meter Indira, and this is an example of exquisite poetry. Srila Prabhupada says that for most of the part of this Gopi Geet, in each line, the first and the seventh syllable begin with the same consonant, and the second syllable is same in all four lines. So we'll check out the Gopi Geet, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 31. Yeah. So before starting the Gopi Geet, there is a very important statement Srila Prabhupada is writing here. Because the gopis had dedicated their minds and very lives to Krishna, they were beside themselves with transcendental pain of separation. But their crying, which appears like evidence of misery, this is very important. Gopis are crying, and that appears like evidence of misery. They are in misery. Actually shows their exalted state of transcendental bliss. As it is said, Yata dekha Vaishnavera Vyavahara Dukh, Nischaya Janiya Se Paramananda Shukh. Whenever one sees a Vaishnava acting unhappy, one should know it for sure that he is actually experiencing the highest spiritual bliss. Thus, each of the gopis began addressing Lord Sri Krishna according to her individual mode of ecstasy, and they all prayed for him for his mercy. So we have to understand, when a Vaishnava is crying, it's not that, oh, this person is so sad, how can I help? No, the Vaishnava is on a very exalted platform. And in that exalted platform, crying for Krishna gives you the highest form of bliss. So it will be foolishness to give some advice to a Vaishnava, oh, you please do not cry for Krishna. So at the end of life, you may get Krishna. We should not try to console. The Vaishnava is already in a very exalted stage. So let's start. We'll do a kirtan of this Gopi Geet, and we'll also understand the meaning. So the first verse says, yeah, okay. So before starting, let me show you some poetic brilliance of the gopis. Here, if you see, Srila Prabhupada said that the first and the seventh syllable in each line will be same, and the second syllable in all four lines will be same. So if you see Jayati, the first syllable start with Ja. Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Braja. So Ja and Ja, first and seventh. Shrayata Indira Shashvatatrai, Sha and Sha. Daita Dirshatam Dikshu Tavakash, Sha and Sha. And Stvaidita Shavas, this is Ta actually, Tam Vichinvate. So this Sa comes with the previous line Tabakas. So this line starts with Ta, Tvaidita Dhrita Shavas. You see here, it starts with Tvai and Tam Vichinvate. So Ta and Ta. First and seventh syllable is same. And again, the second syllable in all of these lines, Jaya, Shaya, Dayi, Stvayi. So if you see, all of them are Ya. And you can find this pattern in all the verses. So the gopis are crying out for Krishna, and they are also composing such exquisite poetry by maintaining a particular pattern and choosing the correct words to express their feelings. This is not at all easy. And Mother Saraswati is actually preparing all these verses for them, and this is just spontaneously flowing. So let's sing. Just a moment. Okay. Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Braja Shayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Daita Drishatam Dikshutavakas Tvaidrita Shavas Tam Vichinvate. The gopis said, "O beloved, your birth in the land of Braja has made it exceedingly glorious. And thus Indira, the goddess of fortune, always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you, so please show yourself to us." शरदुदाशये साधुजात सरसिजोदरा श्रीमुषादृशा सुरतनाथ ते शुल्कदाशिका वरदनि ज्ञतो देह किं वदा. O Lord of love, in beauty your glance excels the world of the finest, most perfectly formed lotus within the autumn period. O bestower of benedictions, you are killing the maidservants who have given themselves to you freely, without any price. Isn't this murder? Vishajalaapyaya Vyalarākṣasa Varasamaruta Vaidyutanala Vishamayatmaja Vishwato Bhayan Vishavate Vayam Rakshitamoho. So the gopis are telling, O greatest of the personalities, you have repeatedly saved us from all kinds of danger, from poisoned water by Kaliya, from the terrible man-eater Aghasur, from the great rains sent by Indra, from the wind demon Trinavarta, from fiery thunderbolt of Indra during Govardhan Lila, from the bull demon Aristashur, and the son of Mayadanava Vyomasur. So you have protected us so many times. And why now you are killing us by not giving your darshan? You have suddenly disappeared. How can we live without you? Nakalu gopika nandano bhava nakila dehina antaratmadri vikhana sarthito vishwaguptaye Sakaudevan Satvatankule. So gopis are telling, you are very hard-hearted. You cannot be the son of Mother Yashoda. You are not actually the son of the Gopi Yashoda, oh friend, but rather the indwelling witness in the hearts of all embodied souls. You are Paramatma. Because Lord Brahma prayed for you to come and protect the universe, you have now appeared in the Satvata dynasty. So you cannot be the son of Mother Yashoda, because Mother Yashoda is very merciful. The heart of Mother Yashoda is very soft, and you are very hard-hearted. So it is not possible. So better, I think you are Paramatma. Paramatma has hard heart. Paramatma sees everything from within, and Paramatma does not respond. So you are similar. Virachita vayam Vrishni duryate Charanami usham Samshriter bhayam Karasharoruham Kanta kamadam Shirashidehina Shrikaragraham. So the gopis telling, of best of the Vrishnis, your lotus-like hand, which holds the hand of goddess of fortune, grants fearlessness to those who approach your feet out of fear of material existence. O lover, please place that wish-fulfilling lotus hand on our heads. So gopis are praying for the association of Lord and the touch of the lotus hand of the Lord. Brajajanartihan Virayoshita Nijajanasmaya Dhamsanasmaya Bhaj Shakhe Bhavajim Karishmano Jalaruhananam Charu Darshaya. So the gopis are telling, O you who destroy the suffering of Braja's people, O hero of all women, your smile shatters the false pride of your devotees. Please, dear friend, accept us as your maidservants and show your beautiful lotus face. So give your darshan, gopis are repeatedly telling. Pranata dehina papakarshanam Krinacharanugam Sriniketanam Panifanarpitam Te padambujam Trinokuteshunam Krindirichayam. Your lotus feet destroy the past sins of all embodied souls who surrender to them. Those feet follow after the cows in the pastures and are the eternal abode of goddess of fortune. Since you once put those feet on the hoods of the great serpent Kalia, please place them upon our breasts and tear away the lust in our hearts. Madhuraya gira Valguvakyaya Buddhamanogyaya Pushkarikshana Vidhikaririva Viramuyati Adharashiduna Payayashvana. So because the gopis are devotees in Madhurya Rasa, they are asking for the Adharamrita, the nectar flowing from the lotus lips of Krishna. O lotus-eyed one, your sweet voice, charming words, which attract the minds of the intelligent, are bewildering us more and more. Our dear hero, please revive your maid servants with the nectar of your lips. Otherwise, we are just like fainting in your separation. We are not able to tolerate your separation anymore. Tabakatamritam tapta jivanam kavi viriditam kalmashapaham Shravana mangalam Srimadatakam Bhuvi grinanti ye Bhuridajana. This is a very special verse, and when Maharaj Prataprudra sang this verse to Lord Chaitanya was listening to the Gopi Geet sung by Maharaj Prataprudra. When this verse came, Lord Chaitanya embraced Maharaj Prataprudra. So this caused ecstasy in the heart of Lord Chaitanya, because this verse is speaking about preaching. Even in the Gopi Geet, you can see that how the gopis are highlighting in preaching. And this is very dear to the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities, so gopis are telling to Krishna, are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. By hearing Krishna Katha, we are relieved from the sufferings of this material world. These narrations, which are there in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita like scriptures, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with the spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread this message, the preachers, are message of Godhead, they are most munificent and they are very dear to Krishna. And Krishna also says this repeatedly in Bhagavad Gita, Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priya krittama bhavita nacha me tasman anna priyataro bhuvi. A preacher who is spreading this message of Krishna to the entire humanity, he is most dear to Krishna, the most dearest devotee, and no one else is more dear and no one else will become more dear than such a person. Prahashitam priya prema vikshanam viharanam chate Dhyanamangalam Rahashi Samvido Yaridishvisa Kuhakano Mana Shovayanti. Your smiles, your sweet, loving glances, the intimate pastimes and confidential talks we enjoyed with you, all those are auspicious to meditate upon, and they touch our hearts. But at the same time, O deceiver, they very much agitate our minds because you are not in front of our eyes and we are in the feeling of separation. So all those memories are agitating us. Chalasijat praja Charayan Pashun Nalina Sundaram Nathate Padam Shila Trinankurai Shidati Tina Alilakamana Kantagachati. Dear master, dear lover, when you leave the cowherd village to herd the cows, our minds are disturbed with the thought that your feet, more beautiful than a lotus, will be pricked by the spiked husk of grain and the rough grass and plants. So the gopis cannot endure even little inconvenience of Krishna. They love Krishna so much. Dina parikshaye Nila kuntare Vanaruhananam Dibadavritam Dhanarajashwalam Darshayan Mohor Manasina Smaram Virayachashi. So gopis, they eagerly wait for Krishna for the afternoon when Krishna will come back after herding the cows. At the end of the day, you repeatedly show us your lotus face covered with the dark blue locks of hair and thickly powdered with dust. During that time, the cows are running and the calves are running, and therefore a lot of dust in the air. And all those dust, they beautify Krishna's face. Thus, O hero, you arouse lust desires in our mind. Obviously, this is not material lust. This is attraction towards Krishna. Any attraction, this is spiritual attraction actually, and a pure form of love, the most purest form of love possible. Pranata kamadam padmajachitam dharani mandanam reyamapadi charana pankajam santamam jate ramanana smane swapayadihan. Your lotus feet, which are worshipped by Lord Brahma, fulfills the desire of all who bow down to them. They are the ornament of earth. They give the highest satisfaction, and in times of danger, they are the appropriate object of meditation. O lover, O destroyer of anxiety, please put those lotus feet upon our breasts. So glorification of the lotus feet of the Lord. Suratavardhanam Shokanashanam Swarita Venuna Shushtu Chumbitam Itara Ragavishmara So again, the gopis are asking for the adharamrita or the nectar of the lotus lips. O hero, kindly distribute to us the nectar of your lips, which enhances conjugal pleasure and vanquishes grief. The nectar is thoroughly released by your vibrating flute and makes people forget any other attachment. So the gopis are requesting Krishna that if you cannot give your adharamrita directly, at least distribute your adharamrita through the medium of the Venu. When Krishna is playing the flute, Krishna is actually filling the holes of the Venu with his adharamrita. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse in the Venu Gita chapter. Barha pidam natavar bapu karnayo karnikaram bibradvasha kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam randhan veno radhara shudhaya purayan gopa brinder Brindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishat kirtihi. So there is a line, Randhan Veno Radhara Shudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrinde. So the Shukdev Goswami and actually the gopis, Shukdev Goswami is narrating the bhav of the gopis. So they are telling that actually Krishna is not playing the flute. Krishna is feeling the holes of the Venu with his Adharamrita. And when the flute sound reaches Brajavasis, that Adharamrita is distributed in whole Braja. And the recipients are mainly these gopis who are devotees in Madhurya Rasa. So gopis are requesting Krishna, if you cannot give us directly, at least play your flute from distant place, wherever you are hiding, we do not know. Play your flute and distribute the Adharamrita. Then at least we will be revived by listening to the flute sound. Atati jad bhavan anhikananam truti jugayate tamapashyatam kutila kuntalam srimukham chate Jadaudikshata Akshmakridrisham. When you go off to the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second, actually a truti means about 1/1700 of a second. That much small time becomes like a millennium for us, the gopis, because we cannot see you. This much is the love of the gopis. And even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which are fashioned by the foolish creator. So gopis are cursing Brahmaji. Brahmaji is a foolish creator. Brahmaji has given eyelids. When Krishna, you are present before our eyes, we cannot see you continuously. Sometimes there is a break. The eyelid comes in between. There is a blink. Our eyes are blinking after a few seconds always, and that is hindering our vision. So gopis do not want to miss Krishna's vision even for a fraction of a second. So that is therefore they are complaining that Brahmaji must learn how to properly do the task of creation. Patishu tanvaya Bhatribandhavan Ati Vilangyati Achyutagata Gati Vidastavo Gita Mohita Tita Vajoshita Dear Achyuta, Krishna, you know very well why we have come here. Who but a cheater like you would abandon young women who come to see him in the middle of the night, enchanted by the loud song of his flute? Just to see you, we have completely rejected our husband, children, ancestors, brothers, and other relatives. Now you are rejecting us, you are disappearing from us. Where will we go? Rahashisham vidam ichayodayam rahashitananam prema vikshanam brihadurashriyo vikshadhamate Muhurati spriha mushyate mana. Our minds are repeatedly bewildered as we think of the intimate conversations we had with you in secret. Feel the rise of lust in our hearts and remember your smiling face. Your loving glances, your broad chest, the resting place of the goddess of fortune. Thus we experience most severe hankering for you. Different features of Krishna is coming to the mind of the gopis and they are intensifying their separation of Krishna. And this was the purpose why Krishna disappeared, to increase their longing for Krishna. Brajavanaukasham Dektirangate Brijena Hanchalam Vishwamangalam Jajamanachana Sprihatmana Swajanarevruja Yannishudanam. O beloved, your all auspicious appearance vanquishes the distress of those living in Braja's forest. Our minds long for your association. Please give to us just a bit of that medicine, means your association. Medicine for gopis is Krishna's association, which counteracts the disease in your devotees' hearts. And this is the last verse. Jatte sujata charanam buruham staneshu Pita shanai priya dadimahi karkasheshu Tenatavi matasitan vyathate nakamshit Kurpadivir brahmati dhir bhavadayusham naham. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hard. Our life rests only on you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. So, this is how, after singing this intense feeling of separation in the form of Gopi Geet, Krishna will appear before them. And that is the chapter 32, reunion. So, we will just go through the first two verses of the next chapter. Sukadev Goswami is explaining, Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Gopya Pragayanta Pralapantascha Chitradha Rududu Sushwara Rajan Krishna Darshana Lalasha. Sukadev Goswami said, O king, having thus sung and spoken their hearts out in various charming ways, the gopis began to weep loudly. They were very eager to see Lord Krishna. Tashama Virvuta Shauri Swayamana Mukhambujam Pitambaradhara Shragvi Shakshad Manmatha Manmatha. Then Lord Krishna, a smile on his lotus face, appeared before the gopis, wearing a garland and a yellow garment. He directly appeared as one who can bewilder the mind of Cupid, Shakshad Manmatha Manmatha, who himself bewilders the minds of ordinary people. So this is how gopis got back Krishna, and then Krishna performed the Rasa dance and fulfilled the inner desire of the gopis. So here we see the mood of the gopis and the exalted nature of them. We cannot imitate their mood, but at least it is good for us to know that such level of devotion also exists. It is for that purpose only. It's not that we can become like gopis. It is impossible for any one of us to become like gopis. They are eternally Nitya Siddha associates of the Lord. Just like you cannot become Krishna. If someone believes that I can become Krishna, that is Mayavad philosophy. Similarly, if someone believes I can become Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, that is also Mayavad. You cannot become any of the eternal associates of the Lord. We are Nitya Baddha Jeev. We are in the material world for a long time. By performing sadhana, we can go to the spiritual world and we can join spiritual world as a servant of these personalities according to our Swarupa. But we cannot become these big personalities like Jashoda Mother, Nanda Maharaj, and the Gopis. They are eternal associates of the Supreme Lord. They are just like the bodily limbs of Krishna. So it is impossible for us to fathom the level of devotion, but yet we can respectably approach the Gopis and their mood, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us the path. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasha Dashanu Dasha. Okay, so we'll end here today. We're already very late, so I'll not take any questions. If you have questions, you can personally text me. I can answer. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.